Sex is gross. I mean, why would they call it doing the nasty if it wasn't gross? So let me explain what I mean. Let me set the scene. And it's not a sex scene. You know that. You follow me. You know I make videos for parents on how to have the modern day sex talks, okay? So here's the scene. You have a 9-year-old. You've been a highly involved parent over the past 9 years when it comes to everything. Your 9-year-old is asserting their independence while still doing typical kid stuff, right? So they're playing like hide and seek and freeze tag. They're playing with their toys, Barbies, Army Men, or Lego sets. They now have pretty good taste in music, so that Kids Bop Spotify list, that's a distant memory. You get it, right? Like you have a kid that's on the cusp of going into puberty, but they're not there yet. So now on a random Tuesday, they come home from school and they ask you, what's sex? The question catches you off guard, but not completely, thanks to a YouTube channel that you stumbled across one day and started following. And so you were prepared with how to answer this question. So you do. You go on to explain what is vaginal, anal, and oral sex. They respond with, ew, that is gross. Why do adults do that? And that question doesn't even catch you off guard because I told you in that video that that is the most common question a kid will ask after learning what is sex. And so you go on to explain that just because adults can have sex doesn't mean that all adults do. Some adults prefer not to have sex, while other adults do choose to have sex. And for the majority of adults who do choose to have sex, they do so because it can feel good. It can feel pleasurable. However, sex is not something children do. But maybe one day when you're an adult, you may want to have sex with someone. And before you can even make the shift to sharing your values and beliefs around when you believe it is acceptable to engage in sex, they jump in and say, oh, I am never having sex. Never, with a complete look of disgust on their face. And it's in this moment that you realize, I didn't tell you what to say here. You were following the script, yet here's a curveball. What do you say? What should you say? It's not a question that they've asked, so you can't even say, I don't know, but I'll get back to you with an answer. So you decide to double down with the last thing that you said. So you say, when you grow up and become an adult, you might change your mind. Seems like a good response. To which your kid responds, no, that is gross. I'm never doing that. So what do you do? What do you say? Do you say, okay, yeah, you say that now, but you'll probably want to have sex when you're an adult? Or do you say, well, yeah, it's not something children do, but you might want to do it when you're a grown-up? What do you think? Which one? If you are finding this video to be helpful, please go on and hit that like button. It really does help. I hope you said that neither of them sound good. Because parents, there is no need to try and convince your kid that they might want to have sex when they grow up. You do not need to do that. This phrase is such a common phrase that I hear parents say, or they tell me they've said to their kid, so I want to address it. Because I do say it in the video where I give you the script for answering the question, what is sex? Moms, I need you to turn off your adult brain for a moment and try to remember what life was like before puberty. Do you remember when your main motivation to do anything involved a pack of Sour Patch Kids or a box of Nerds? Your whole day was focused around playing, right? You played and played and played, and then you ate some food, and then you played again until dinner time. And so if you're able to imagine life at that age, and at that age you learn what is sex for the first time, it would be pretty disgusting to you. Nothing about it sounds enjoyable or even near the realm of something that you would want to do. And that is totally normal. Children do not have sex. It's a topic that we have to talk to them about at this age because, one, they've heard the word sex and they've asked what it is. And two, there are child sexual predators that are out there, and having the knowledge of what sex is and why it is not something children do can potentially prevent them from becoming a victim. And so when you're talking to your kid and explaining to them what is sex and they say, ew, that is gross, I am never having sex, you can seize the moment and simply agree. You can say something like, yeah, I can see that, while nodding your head and showing your agreement. And this response is just fine. Think about it, parents. It's a moment in the conversation where your kid has reached out to you and gave their opinion. Their opinion is just that, their opinion in this moment in time. Here's a completely different perspective, okay? So let me ask you, moms, when you reach out to a colleague or to your spouse or to a co-parent and you share your opinion, do you feel more connected to them when they agree with your opinion? or when they try to convince you that there's a different or maybe better way to approach this topic. Moms, this is an easy opportunity for you to connect with your kid by simply agreeing with them. Because you do actually agree with them, right? Like you do agree with them, right? You may not say it in the same way, but there's a part of you that can totally see where they're coming from here, right? By agreeing with them, you're doing two things. First, you are showing them that it's okay to have an opinion and to share that opinion with you. It's parent-child connection 101. Just simply agree and let it be. Just say, I can understand where you're coming from, but sometimes we have to learn gross stuff in order to keep ourselves safe and healthy. Second, remind yourself that you don't know their sexual orientation. They might be asexual and truly never want to have sex because they don't have that desire as a part of their sexuality. Many kids will start to put words to their sexual orientation as they start to go through puberty and they begin to recognize their preferences. It doesn't hurt to show them that you are accepting of them by simply agreeing. The next time your kid says, sex is gross, just agree. Moms, I've got my first live course coming up. So if you are struggling with any of these topics, please go and fill out the form that is linked in the description and the comments. And let's see if the course is a right fit for you. Go and fill out that form and I'll be in touch via email. And if you are having the talks and they are going well, leave a comment. Let me know. I love hearing your success stories.